Good afternoon, class. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the game book. So this is basically the rules for the game next class. We're going to be using our characters and debating back and forth on the future of America coming back together. So what we need to do is we need to come up with a set of rules that keeps us away from conflict, but also allows us to debate. So we want positive conflict, but we don't want negative conflict that's going to anger people or get people to want to quit the game. So we need to kind of balance those emotions and balance those pet peeves. So if anybody has any ideas, this is totally an open forum. Just raise your hand and we'll put it up on the board and we'll vote on it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Let's do it. So one idea that I always start with when we talk about a game book or any rule in general is the rule we talked about earlier when we set the rules for the class, and that's respect above all. And that's just a blanket rule that just says, you know what, regardless of how irritated we get or how passionate we get about a subject, we're always thinking about respecting everyone in the classroom. Whether it's an opinion you don't agree with or opinion you adamantly agree with, you need to respect that person and allow that person to talk and be a part of the community, because that's what we've built here, and that's what I want to maintain in this game. Okay? Can anybody give me a second rule that we can put up here?
Raising your hand.
Raising your hand? Okay. And what instances are you talking about?
When you want to make an opinion or a statement, when
Okay.
someone's talking or you have something to say after them.
Right. And so we talked about how we're going to have a podium up here and people are going to give speeches.
Uh-huh.
And so you're probably right. It's a good idea for people to raise their hand if they want to ask a question or try to get the person to clarify, right? That's a really good idea, because if we didn't have to raise our hands, everybody would just be shouting out. We wouldn't get anything done. So thank you, Kelsey. That was good. Jalen?
I think that when somebody's talking, they need to have research for what they're saying. I don't want to just hear them talk about their opinions when they don't know what they're talking about. They need to know what they're talking about.
Okay. So how do you think we would make sure that happens? Because what if someone wants to participate in the game, but they didn't necessarily do the background research because they didn't think they were going to want to play?
Well, maybe the person presenting at the podium. We can form our opinions based on what they're telling us, but what they're telling us should probably be fact.
Okay. Yeah, so you want all the speeches to be research based.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Opinion.
I really like that. Good. All right. Now, how do we feel about yelling? Because a lot of times that's what happens when emotions rise and passions rise and we get adamant about what we're saying and we don't feel like we're being heard, we start to yell. What should our policy be on yelling?
Well, if you're raising your hand to talk, you shouldn't mean to yell because you're talking on your own. No one else should be talking.
True. What I was referring to is more of the speeches, and then more of when we do open it up for debate, or we do have two people come up to the podium and we separate and we have an open debate.
Oh.
How are we gonna keep those situations professional, but also allow people to get their views across passionately?
If it's getting too loud, you can hold a hand up or something to let them know without interrupting.
Okay.
Maybe a signal, a motion. But that could be rude too.
Yeah. And maybe some people would just take that out of turn because they don't want to hear that person talk, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we should come up with a way to create almost a safe word, or a way to just let the speaker know that we need to keep it professional and when we're getting off of topic. So maybe we can say tangent. Does anybody know what tangent means?
Mm-mm.
So tangent, is that sort of spelled?
I think it says math.
Yeah, this is in math, but it's also used in English and history to talk about someone who's getting off topic.
Mm-hmm.
So if two people are debating and then they get off topic and they're talking about something that's totally separated from Reconstruction and the subject that they were originally supposed to talk about, then that would be a tangent. So what we'll do is we will have a motion on the floor to remove tangent. Good. Good. I think that'll really help us. All right. Let's think. What else do we need, do you think? So let's,
we need to remember to stay in our character and not put our own opinion.
right. Okay.
You gotta act the part.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea.
I don't know how to say that though.
Right. That's difficult. That's more of an agreement for everyone.
But what if we have the same views as our character, so it wouldn't matter?
Yes, and some people will, but some people will have to go the opposite of the view because we have to be able to have debate and have an equal representation of both ideas.
Okay.
So something that's good is we can make a contract for everyone to make sure that not only are we sticking to our characters' points of view, but we understand that sometimes our personal views bleed through as well. So even though I'm Abraham Lincoln, say I was Abraham Lincoln, and I think that we need to slowly and not be so harsh on the South and not totally just hammer down on them like his vice president wanted to. And maybe I think personally that we need to do that, like his vice president. We need to be able to allow that person to speak personally because the perspective of Abraham Lincoln and the person that's representing Abraham Lincoln has to bleed together because that's what this project's about.
Well, maybe what we could do then, so that we all can keep each other accountable, is like have a name tag or something that has your name on it, like if you're Abraham Lincoln, and then like some traits about you, because they would all know each other, right? Like working together, so you'd know that you can't yell at Abraham Lincoln because he doesn't respond to that, but maybe this person does. So we know how to interact with each other and kind of what our views are.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That way
Yeah, I
we
like
can
that
keep
idea.
each other accountable, and you can look down and be like, okay, remember, like, I am pro this, even though I personally am against it, or whatever. It helped me remember who people are, too, because that's a lot of people in the class.
Name tag viewpoints. I like that. That's a really good idea.
I think that'd be helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for your idea.